video, we're going to talk about how to prepare for your Google data engineering interview and what are the things you should know. So, as you may know, there are 4 rounds to the Google data engineering roles, and the most important thing is role-related interviewing. There is 2 rounds of role-related interviews. One where they're gonna ask you about you know database designing and questions like that. So let's quickly review what is the databases and what you should know in order to answer those questions. So here's a brief quick screenshot of what are the Google Cloud products. You're not required to know the Google Cloud products, but I highly encourage that you familiarize yourself. And there are many ways that you can do this. You should be checking out the Google's Cloud Skill Boost and be taking quick labs there, and watching lots of YouTube videos from the Google Cloud channel. But let's dive into the databases. I'm hoping you have a background in database and data analytics, and this is going to be a quick review of what you should know. So first we have the Google Cloud Bigtable. You will know that this is a managed services. So the things about Google you should know are which ones are managed services, are they global, and what are the features of each of them, right? Like are they performance based, or is it for streaming, is it for batching, and things like that, or is it NoSQL, or is it document storage, or what kind of storage does it do, kind of things. So let's look at Cloud Bigtable. What we know about Cloud Bigtable, it's a managed services. It is something you use for high throughput data, like when you have really big data and you want data to be available instantly and process, be able, like more like real time data processing and stuff, you would use Bigtable for it. So it is a NoSQL columnar based database system. As you can see on the screen here, it can store terabytes or petabytes of data. So if you have extremely large data, your options are Bigtable. Now oftentimes people get confused with Bigtable versus Bigquery. Remember, Bigquery is a data processing service. It is a storage plus a compute service. But Bigtable is really, you know, it is a database. It is a NoSQL wide column based database, right? And another one in comparison to that is Cloud Spanner. Now, when you talk about Cloud Spanner, you should know the difference between Cloud Spanner and Cloud SQL, right? So, Cloud SQL is just a MySQL, PostgreSQL database services that are available to your apps as a backend, and Cloud SQL is a managed services. Now, the difference between Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner is multi-region, right? It provides global consistency, and it is a serverless service. It is strongly typed, and then the features of Cloud Spanner, such as the secondary indexes and things like that, you should know the interleaved tables. If you haven't looked up all of this information, do try to read up on this. And the concept of splits in Cloud Spanner, where the where data is co-located, right? And the concept of field promotion and the automatic rebalancing is very important. That's the most important difference between Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner. So it is kind of serverless service, and it's an OLTP kind of a service, right? And then you have Cloud SQL, but you have Cloud SQL for MySQL, Cloud SQL for Postgres, and Cloud SQL for SQL Server. So most likely you oftentimes talk about cloud. When you say Cloud SQL, it is MySQL. And then you have a database migration service that is also a serverless, easy, minimal downtime migration to Cloud SQL. And then we have Datastore. What you need to know about Datastore: it is a NoSQL document database built for automatic scaling, high performance, and ease of application development. Usually, when you have a Google App Engine app, you would connect it to Datastore as a backend. Uh, and it provides atomic transactions, it's ACID support, and it has high availability, it has encryption at rest, and it's fully managed service. So that's another good advantage of it, right? And it's really good for, it has high availability for reads and writes. So it's a really good backend. If you have an application, Datastore is a great NoSQL backend for yourself. um, and then another one here you need to know is Firestore. So what we know about Firestore is also a NoSQL database, right? And it's a NoSQL. It has automatic scaling and it's very high performance too. So those are the things. Now, Along with these, you also need to know some data analytics and data processing, you know, technologies like BigQuery. Now, BigQuery is an example of a storage and a compute in which you can actually store data and you can also like query it. So, understanding your data using a fully managed, highly scalable data warehouse, it is a data warehouse. So, you can store your data in the data warehouse as well as you can do analytical processing on it. The other one is I want to mention is there's so many here, but I think if you know at least uh, three of them, which would definitely be is BigQuery, Dataproc, and Dataflow. Now you should definitely know the difference between Dataproc and Dataflow. So Dataflow is for real time develop a real time batch or stream data processing pipelines. Dataproc is it performs batch processing only, and it's for querying and streaming using a managed Spark and Hadoop service. So Dataproc is that. So for orchestration, you should be using Dataflow for orchestration, where you have your you know, pipelines to be built. Dataproc on the other side, you know, it has the concept of you know, writing directed um, DAG processes, right? Like the DAG processes or pipelines. So that's what that is used for. Um, in a nutshell, those are the things you should know for data analytics, and for the things you should know. What else? And so the second round, if you are interviewing for Google, would be another round about. So the first one will be role related, would be about data analysis, data technologies, project management, and programming. The second one is where they ask you about the big data infrastructure, the information gathering, ETL pipeline designing, and data warehousing. So they're gonna ask you that. Now, and then you're gonna have like a one coding interview, which will be like you know, data structures and algorithms, and they're also going to have one googleness slash leadership behavioral kind of a thing, right? um, so those are the four rounds of interviews you will have if you're interviewing for Google. What else can I say? Yeah, definitely I would highly recommend taking a lot of the quick labs. Those are free. What I mean by them is if you go to um, any of these Google Cloud Skill Boost site, and you go to the thing here. Let me take you back to the home here. You can take the exams, but the exams are not required, but definitely a good thing. There are multiple quests here that I would recommend you take, courses or quests that are related to data engineering that can be taken. So yeah, good luck, and hope you like this video. I will definitely be sharing more information in my next videos on a few more things that you must learn and should know.